Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Let Me Know podcast, a podcast where we do frequent brand endorsements for Buy Antioxidant Infusion. Check out this. Wait. I'm trying to
Didn't we
open the
do this
bottle.
intro?
Wait, shh. Today, I'm feasting on a beautiful Costa Rica clementine, 1 gram sugar, no artificial sweeteners, 10 calories per bottle, clementine-flavored antioxidant beverage with vitamin C with other natural flavors, 18 fluid ounces, 530 milliliters. Ingredients: filtered water, erythritol, clarified orange juice concentrate, citric acid, potassium citrate, tea extract, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, stevia leaf extract, malic acid, natural flavors, coffee fruit extract, vegetable juice concentrate, and beta carotene. Our flavor names pay homage to the world's coffee regions.
Sounds delicious if you ask me.
That is the full title. Wait, there's caffeine in this?
Of course there is, Jay. As our sponsor informed us,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Thanks to the Buy Corporation for the sponsoring. Villainous, I don't know if anybody knows the actual scale of how many of these I've had since I first discovered them. I average probably 1 to 2 a week for the entirety of school. In September, we went to Pittsburgh. And on our trip to Pittsburgh, I was like, I said to my dad in the car, I wonder if we could wholesale buy. And he went, yeah, check Amazon. I will buy you a box. And then a box of 16 came, and I finished it in 10 days.
Pretty efficient.
Pretty efficient. That's a lot of buy per day.
Yeah. I mean, Bai is good. I think I've only had it once. I forget which flavor, but it was one that you recommended for me. And it was pretty tasty, man. It was pretty good.
Have I gotten you buy before? I feel like
You did not get it for me, but you
no.
recommended a certain flavor to me.
I have a habit of offering to buy stuff for people.
You are very generous when it comes to paying for other people's stuff.
I probably shouldn't be though.
No, yeah, you probably should not be. You should.
It probably shouldn't be. Yeah. Just took a refreshing sip of Buy Antioxidant Infusion Costa Rica Clementine.
Truly the greatest drink any human will ever have.
Truly the greatest drink anyone's ever had. Well, I suppose we'll get this podcast underway, and this time we're gonna do a song of the week. Definitely do a song of the week.
Oh,
right.
okay.
It has been about 5 weeks since we've done a song of the week, even though
our weekly segment.
Funny thing is, this is episode 36. I think we've done song of the week about 7 times. In fact, when we used to recommend stuff like we were supposed to do, we used to just call anytime we recommended a song. We just called it the song of the week as if you were going to get one next week. But then the best part was that you would come to the next episode and be like, nah.
Nah.
Nah. I mean, then they'd usually cry, right, Vilnius?
Yeah, of course. We constantly tug on our listeners' heartstrings every episode. We bring the tears out of the strongest person.
Yeah, there's absolutely nobody we can't bring tears out of. And on YouTube, obviously, in the analytics, it tells you the length that people watch. And for the people that watch to the end, we actually pay for premium YouTube, and it shows the criership, the percentage of people that cried at some point in the episode. Not to brag or anything, but we're at about 95% of our 10 listeners each week. So,
Pretty good amount. 9.5 of them.
9.5 people on average. So at least you guys know that we are doing our stuff correctly. Well, to start off the podcast, Vilnius, I must ask you, how has your week been so far?
My week has been fine. I've mostly just done schoolwork. I've had very little time to do, I don't know, recreational activities since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. Anything of note?
Nope. How about you?
Well, Also been up to some schoolwork. Also watching
Hmm.
a lot
Hmm.
of anime. That has been a big part of my week this week.
Oh yes, you told me you were watching Darling in the
I will
Franks,
talk. I
which
will
you've
talk
said
about that.
you've
I
quite
will talk about that
enjoyed.
in a little bit because that was something I wanted to mention. But regardless, I think I don't know. It's been a weird week. I've been having some motivation struggles this week for sure. I've not been wanting to do anything at all. It's uh, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think it's hard for anyone to motivate themselves during quarantine. With even if there's so much going on in the world right now, it kind of doesn't feel like that when you're just cooped up in your room all
It's
day.
true, but I feel like I did a great job of pretending I was okay for a long time. Enough that I tricked myself into thinking I was completely fine for months and months. Um, but dude, it's bearing down on me real hard right now. Like, I don't know. But obviously, struggles happen and it is what it is. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I think as we may have discussed in a previous episode in the past couple weeks, like we we want to be able to experience everything to the fullest, no matter how possible that is. So, it's a give and take. Can't really do that, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Also, I've
Mhm.
got into
Mhm.
University of Delaware this week,
Oh, nice.
which
So
is
did I,
great.
Jay. So did I.
Did you? Yo,
Yes.
blue hens, man. Hell yeah. I just got a letter in the mail that said, what did it say, Vilnius? Did it say you Delcom or was it just you Del welcome or something?
I don't think it said that.
Well, yeah, it was like a yellow and blue. You got mail, right?
Yes, I got the big yellow envelope, and then
I
they
could
gave
have
me the
sworn it said
flag that they told me to take a selfie with.
wait, there's a flag? What?
Yeah.
What? What? My mom came in the middle of like some class and she was like, I didn't know what it was, but I opened it and I was like, oh my God, nice. I didn't know there was a flag.
Yeah, they put in one of those little, like, paper triangle flags. If you take a selfie with it and post it on some social media with a hashtag, you're entered in a raffle to get some uh, University of Delaware merchandise.
Yes. No, man, I won't do that until I've committed to a school, Like, I don't know. If I applied ED to UDEL, maybe I would, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I did not apply ED to anything. That's
Mm-mm.
that's too much, I would
That's
say,
too
for
big of a
me to
commitment,
be
but
hard set immediately. Yeah, like you said, too big a commitment.
it is crazy. Boston University actually takes 50% of their incoming class from ED. Um,
Jesus,
which
that's
means
a lot.
you have like a fantastic chance to get in if you apply ED, and that's just how it is. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's not that something you can just like kind of find. And I don't think it's would be common knowledge for people applying either.
Yeah. No. No.
So it is really interesting because ED for the school basically they have the capability to not have to pay you anything. They don't have to take anything out of their aid cap to give you money because you're not entitled to any money if you apply ED, which I think is ironic because if you want to go to a school and they're like, nah, you want to go here, you don't get money. But it is what it is, right? So that means they can then use remaining money as leverage to get even better applicants in regular decision or early admission from
Yeah.
so that's some good stuff right there.
Mhm.
uh
Mhm.
I also submitted my PID application this week finally.
Oh yes. Good job on that, Jay.
Took me
Good job.
ages. Took me too long.
I mean,
But
they gave you like the hardest essay prompt that anyone could.
yeah, and it did turn out I was not happy to hear it from my dad at first, but that essay wasn't good, the first version. So what I did was
Oh.
I cut out all the technicalities. I just cut out the last two paragraphs, put in a semi conclusion, 450 words instead of 750 and sent it. So that
Hmm.
was, I guess that's fine.
I'm sure it was for the best. Being shorter and concise is, I feel like generally, people prefer that.
I mean, yeah, I think to some extent it gets the point across better. There's no distraction. Though I did like to think that I had a lot of the ins and outs of that kind of, you know, sorted. But it is what it is. Now, you want to hear the next question that I have to do?
What?
All right.
What's the next one?
All right. There are two questions. You can choose one or two. The first one is, at the George Washington University, our students frequently interact with policymakers and world leaders. If you don't know, it's in DC, so that makes sense. These experiences and those of our alumni can shape the future of global affairs. If you had the power to change the course of history in your community or the world, what would you do and why? All right.
Jesus Christ.
250 words, by the way. 250. Like, one of the shortest,
What?
it is the shortest essay I will have to write. Essay prompt 2.
That's.
The George Washington Community University. What? The George Washington University encourages students to think critically and challenge the status quo. Thus, civil discourse is a key characteristic of our community. Describe a time when you engaged with others in meaningful dialogue around an issue that was important to you. Did this exchange create change, new perspectives, or deeper relationships?
Hmm. Yeah, these are some
GW went in.
pretty
They went
difficult
in.
questions, especially for 250 words.
They went in, dude. Actually, now looking at it, in my opinion, the second one is easier. Um,
The first one definitely seems harder.
just because I have, for those of you that don't know me personally or very well, I did a fundraiser between January and March of 2019.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, your parents were like the first donor,
I remember this, yeah.
other than my parents. So thanks to you guys for that. I appreciate it, of course. Um, and that is when I sent out letters and emails and stuff to people. That's a great example of engaging in a dialogue or something like that. So maybe that works. I don't know though.
I think that's a good fit. That one's good. That's certainly
That
something
one,
that you could use for the essay.
yeah, that
And
one may be
it's a
easier for me.
very impressive and notable thing that you've done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was a good thing to do. But man, I am like I was stressing about that pit app. So
Yeah, it's a great feeling once you finish it.
well, Vilnius, you finished all your applications in like what, 2 days. You were just like, whoa, I'm gonna Vilnius, you wrote like your essays in a night.
I wrote it in like 3 days, but yes, I just kind of buckled down, and for like 3 days, I just did nothing but write superlative essays.
Yes, it was insane. It was insane. Um,
I just I just wanted to get it over with. And plus I had a
Vilnius
lot
just
of early actions on my list, so I needed to get a bunch over too.
crazy stuff, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Big moves, man. Going to college, Jesus.
kind of terrifying.
Well, it's crazy when you have just one acceptance under your belt. Like crap. You already got options. Um,
Mhm.
so
Yeah. Once you get the first one, then like there's a huge weight taken off of your mind. You know that you've
absolutely,
at least gotten into college.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And we will see if Illness and I both become legendary blue hens. Um, I do have a feeling. I do have a feeling that if we both went to UDEL, we would have we would be known as the duo that that
Where are you going with this?
never mind, never mind. Um
Okay.
we We would be known as the duo with a lot of cars.
What?
Because we would have
No. No, no, no. I cut this. I cut this part already. This part was already cut. I'm cutting it in the present as we speak. It has been cut. So Jay, earlier you mentioned that you wanted to talk about Darling in the Franks.
I did have something to say about Darling in the Franks. Thank you, Vilnius, for that beautiful lead-in. So, Vilnius and I were discussing Darling in the Franks the other day. I'm on an anime kick right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have watched 2.5 animes in the past week and a half.
Yeah.
I finished Ouran High School Host Club. I rewatched One Punch Man, and I watched all of Darling in the Franks. Now,
Oh, you finished Darling in the Franks.
I finished it this morning. Yeah.
That is a good chunk.
Yeah, it is.
Was
It
Franks
was
24 episodes?
24 episodes. One Punch is
I did not
12.
watch Franks. Actually, I did not watch any of those you listed, but I read One Punch Man and Oran High School Host Club back a
Vilnius,
while
I know
back.
that you don't like watching anime, but I would greatly suggest that you watch it because I want to have a discourse about it.
Okay.
I want to talk about Darling in the Franxx. Just download an ad blocker and use Crunchyroll. It works flawlessly. Um,
I didn't even know that was an option.
dude, yeah. So I have an ad blocker. I always get an ad blocker on whatever thing I'm on,
Hmm.
and now a lot of sites are kind of getting through ad blockers. I have noticed that news sites often sense that you have one and you gotta pause it on the site or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but
Well, that's not as
Crunchyroll,
annoying having an ad on a news site.
yeah, Crunchyroll was like, meh, you can just do it.
Yeah. Fun fact about Crunchyroll, Jay. It actually started as a pirating website where you could pirate anime.
Oh, I was trying to figure out if it still was, but then I
No, it is
realized like
not.
they have
What?
like, I mean, I don't know, man, because I mean, obviously it's a lot better than like Kiss Anime that is like so obviously
Kiss
thrown
anime does
together.
not exist anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they got deleted like 3 months ago.
Wait, is Kiss Cartoon still a thing?
I don't know. I never used that.
I used Kiss Cartoon. I never used Kiss Anime. I just knew it existed. Um, and I was trying to figure it out because the amount of selection they have is like impressive. You know, I know
Really, it's
VRV
not.
has more, but like,
Crunchyroll does have a good bit, but it's not even like that big of a scratch in the surface of quantity of anime out there. Not even that of like
no, but
modern anime.
no, but here's the thing: is between Crunchyroll and VRV, you
Oh, do
have,
you have?
huh?
I mean, isn't VRV just Crunchyroll basically? I don't
No
know
VRV
anything
apparently
about
has a
VRV.
higher quantity of animes and different ones.
Ah,
But the thing with Crunchyroll and VRV, I think they mostly encompass all the anime that would be appealing to a Western audience. And the thing, not the problem, but they have essentially shaped anime for a Western audience because that's what's
mm,
available for the most part. The
I don't
one
know so
thing,
much about VRV, but Crunchyroll is certainly the most widely used anime site.
and because all right, I was trying to figure it out, right? Because with with a premium subscription, you were able to watch anime. I thought it was a day after it aired in Japan. It's an hour after it aired in Japan.
Yeah,
So,
except the subtitles, they are they're somewhat infamous for not being the best,
oh, okay, that's fine. But
with
like,
errors
still,
and whatnot, because that is the fastest translation error ever of a 24-minute episode of a show.
are all animes like 24 tops?
No, I mean, I don't watch them as anime, but there's not often. That's just the normal runtime of something that would air on television, I guess.
Because it
But
was
there are ones that are
strange. Like,
plenty shorter. There are
yeah.
ones that I am certain are longer,
Hmm.
and obviously with like specials and whatnot, and movies and short films.
Because Darling in the Franks, every episode is exactly 24 minutes long.
Oh,
Like, it was like weird, right? But like, Oron it was just kind of like they had like this ad break in the middle of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just kind of like roughly 7 to 11 minutes left in the episode. Like it was more rough, but then I watched Darling in the Franks because obviously Oron's from like 2006 or something, 2008. I
Something
don't
like
know,
that. I
it's
don't know.
older,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, are they really this do they conform that much to like time limits now? Like what's going on?
I don't
Um
think most of them do. I don't know.
but like it was just like 24 minutes on the dot every time without fail. Which is so strange to me. I don't know. And also, like, the opening segments were pretty close to the same length every time. Mostly near the end of the show. So it was like very, very formulaic. Um, but obviously it's not like that really affected the watch experience. I just found it funny.
Mm-hmm. A bit of
Um,
an odd quirk. Yeah, I don't know. That's
it was
something
not quite.
interesting to look into. I'm gonna Google something about
Yeah,
that later.
I'm kind of yeah, I am curious like cuz I mean realistically, well, I find the whole concept of anime to be very interesting compared to American TV. Just purely because the average anime, right? Obviously, there are some huge, outstanding ones. An example is Haikyuu, which has had 6 seasons now. I don't know if they're gonna have another one,
Yeah,
but 6 seasons,
Haikyuu is
right?
not good. Haikyuu is like
I am
the
good,
most boring, generic shonen
but
sports
it's
anime
but it's
of
about
all
but it's about
time.
volleyball, and I've never watched a sports anime before, so that's up on
I
my
mean,
watch list at some point.
shonen sports anime is what the sports anime are plenty different from one another.
Okay, yeah. Well, I want to watch Haikyuu. I'm curious.
You might enjoy it a
Um,
lot more than I did.
cause it's volleyball.
Yes. Uh,
I have a
the
feeling.
manga has the redeeming quality of having some really great art, especially in later portions of it. But
Yeah,
I uh I could not bring myself to finish that one.
yeah. And here's the thing: is I find so I don't know. I'm very captivated, not so much by the anime itself, or I mean, obviously, I'm captivated by the show and the storyline, but I think just in general, I'm very captivated by the fact that an anime going to season two is strange. It's not
I don't know if
normal,
it's strange. Well, I guess
or
it is.
it's
It
rare.
is, especially with a lot of more modern stuff, because a lot of like more recent anime s- kind of exists for the sole purpose of being an advertisement for the manga or the light novel or like any other sort of source material. And then each season there's like 30 to 40 new shows, and there's no way the anime industry can handle giving each of them a sequel.
No, that's true, but all of it is formed so differently to Western media. Because okay, look at a show like Darling in the Franks, all right, and look at the characters that it spawned, right, and the popularity. Okay, just think
I
of
mean, I
Zero
feel like
Two in
there's
pop
only
culture.
one character
N-
that's popular.
No, I do think that there's a lot of popularity from other in the anime community rather, less so just in. I think Zero Two
No,
is a
Zero
little
Two is
bit different.
popular. I think that's the only one that I see anything about
Oh.
ever, though.
All right, maybe. All right, yes, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I have seen stuff in different places. It doesn't matter. Uh, I'm not a reputable source. But Zero Two has transcended a little bit. Just the anime scene, I think, or just I get that there's a lot of mention in songs that I've recent songs in the past couple years
Oh,
and stuff like that.
I did not know
Huh?
about that. That's neat.
Yes, I have heard Zero Two mentioned in a few songs and stuff. Like Sailor Moon is probably a better example actually than Zero Two. But the reason I'm bringing up Zero Two is because Darling in the Franxx is like only 2 years old, right?
Yes.
Um, and it was popular, right? I get the
It
sense that
was
it was a
very
popular show,
popular. It's like
but
Trigger's
people,
most popular show. I forgot about Kill la Kill. It's their second most popular.
yeah, right. For such a popular show, it came out 2 years ago, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
compare this, it is a show that is probably considered popular around the world as animes go. You look at a show that stops after one season that comes out of the US and nobody's ever watched it before, right? It's just weird coming from where successful shows are 6 to 10 seasons, right? You have shows like The Office that's 9 seasons, The Good Place is 5 seasons, and like I'm just trying to think of popular kind of network television right now. And you find a show like Darling in the Franks where the closest mention you can find of a second season is somebody who's desperate wondering what it could be about. And the same thing with Oron that came out like 12 to 15 years ago, and there's still some fans that are like, I wonder, but what if?
I
Like
mean, Oron will never get a second season because it's not an
absolutely
original
not.
script, so it'd be
No, yeah, true.
kind
Is
of going
Darling in the
against the
Franks
author's
doesn't
wishes.
have a manga, does it?
No, Darling. Well, it does, but it came after the anime. There was a
Came
manga
after the anime.
adaptation of the anime. I have consumed none of Darling in the Franxx.
Well, I feel like a manga adaptation of an anime is just absolutely just the stupidest thing ever. I
Why?
get an anime adaptation of a manga, but why would you? Well,
Because
actually,
comics
to be
are.
fair,
I don't know. I prefer comics to animation
well, to be
in like
oh well, yeah, no,
every
it serves a
way.
different audience. But also, like when you look at Star Wars, I don't think Star Wars Episode One, the book, is very popular in comparison to
No,
Episode One, and it was written afterwards. It's
it's
not like
certainly true. Anime adaptations of manga exist for
it makes
broadening
more
the
sense.
audience. It certainly makes more sense, but I don't think it's a terrible idea to make an adaptation of a popular series for a new audience. It's the same idea, but you're serving a more niche market. And plus, making a
No,
manga is a
that's fair.
relatively inexpensive action. It just requires a lot of time and effort from the
Well,
numbers
it
of people who work on it.
do you think they then use the same artists as made the anime?
No, they did not, because not one
No.
artist made the anime, and one guy probably
No, no,
drew the
no.
manga.
I'm saying, do they utilize the same artist that did the character design for the anime?
No, character designer is a specific role in and of itself. Usually, I think like
Oh,
the person who
interesting.
does even if there's like an adaptation of a manga, there is a separate character designer for the show who works the designs to fit better for animation. So I'm sure there's something similar like that going on for the manga adaptation, or the guy just did it himself because you can't perfectly capture someone else's style
That
usually.
is very, very interesting. I did not think that would be the case. Um, but I gotta be honest, man. So I did some looking at reviews today,
Mm,
just a little bit on the show, and it does seem to be pretty mixed. Um,
yes.
I even saw some entitled bastard, um, which I will never understand judging something simply by hearing what somebody else said about it.
Mm-hmm.
This person said, without watching the show, I can tell that it is just dumb. And I thought to myself, this person must live alone with 15 cats. Um, I mean, come on. Listen. There's a difference between watching a show and getting attached to the characters and being pissed off because you don't care to watch the show. All right. Um, I heard mixed things. One of my good friends mentioned that I should definitely watch it, and it was something that he very heavily enjoyed. And then, Vilnius, though you've never watched it, you did mention to me that not everybody liked it. Obviously, I don't
Yes,
care, and I have no
most of the
clue.
discourse surrounding it that I heard was not very positive, but that
and
means nothing for my opinion of the show.
and I think at the end of the day, I gotta be honest, that is one of my favorite shows. I don't watch that much TV. I've watched a fair amount of shows. I don't watch as much TV as like the rest of my family, but that is one of my favorite shows I've ever watched. Um,
Mm,
I was extremely emotionally attached um, to a variety of characters in the show. Um, I think I listen. So you were telling me that I think you were saying that the end gets kind of like detached from the rest of the story.
that's what I hear most complaints. revolving around the ending and how that was handled. A lot of people say that it just kind of turns into a nonsensical mess.
I absolutely agree with you because it does get confusing. All right.
Mm.
Um, it gets really out there, weird. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like if you made the entire concept of Oron High School Host Club, which is basically just a show about high schoolers seducing their peers, into
It's
an
like the
all out
worst
war.
description you could have ever given Orin High School Host Club.
Well, that's the gist of it, basically. If you watch it at the beginning, I mean, that obviously there's more to it, and there's play through between the characters. But I'm just saying that it's okay. Do you not think that Oron High School Host Club is just an absurd way to go about things? It's a bunch of really rich people
Yes,
who are
it
seducing each
is a
other.
very absurd premise.
Okay, and that's basically what the end of Darling is. Except it has to do with battles.
That
It's
is not
okay.
a comparison that makes any sense whatsoever to me.
And that's fine because it doesn't have to villainous. It doesn't have to make any sense at all. But anyway, I do agree that it gets a little strange at the end. Um, and some weird character development happens that doesn't really make any sense. But the ending, the payoff at the ending is really good. The payoff at the ending is really good. As I mentioned to you, Vilnius, and actually I found online today too, a lot of people find this to be one of the most emotional shows at the end to watch. Like uh like uh like crying at the end and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I personally did not. Apparently that sort of thing does not tug at my heartstrings. Um, but dude, it was really damn good. And I think the first like 20 something episodes are just good as is, right? It obviously gets confusing in the last few, but I can't recommend it enough. Bonus, I would like if you want to, if you also watched it, because I would like to have a little bit of a discussion about it, just because
It would be
like holy hell.
interesting, but then I would also. The likelihood of me doing this is relatively low. I am
No,
not
that's fine,
very
and I
good at actually getting to doing, like, watching things. I am very impulsive about the media I consume. Unless it's like a manga or a comic, which I am pretty pretty good with staying on track with the consuming of that. But whenever it's like a TV show or something, unless I'm watching with someone or have a purpose in mind, which I do in this case, I usually will get sidetracked by something else.
yeah, no, that's fair. I would watch it with you, but I think I need to take a break from the show for now. Uh,
Yes, you just watched
I
it. It's
will
not the time to rewatch.
I will inevitably watch it again. I think at some point in the next couple years, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, I obviously I'm just starting to watch anime or whatever. Like this is not something I normally do, but this was like a big hit for me for like the third one. you know,
Hmm.
um, so I would say I recommend watching it to you or just anybody listening. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean just very emotional show, but I think there's a lot of metaphors surrounding like sexuality and
Hmm. Yes, I'm aware
just
of that.
adolescence. And obviously that is to some extent relatable, but like not. Actually, maybe that's why people don't. Maybe that's why people don't understand it. I don't know.
I have
Is
heard
it?
no criticism regarding or I've heard,
All
I
right.
guess I
Yeah.
have heard criticism regarding that, but that was from, like, one person ever I read online, in which they mostly just said, like, it was, like, the most boring discussion of these topics that they had experienced. But this was also some post I remember reading on some forum when the show was airing at, like, episode 3. So I don't know
Oh,
about
well,
their
that
thoughts of
that
the
means
show.
nothing, right?
No, that
I
means
mean, that
nothing.
was an eighth of the way through the show.
Of course,
Uh,
yes. It means it has
I,
no value against the whole thing. It was just some discussion thread regarding the show up to that point. But no, I don't think
yeah,
people are generally bothered by those sort of themes.
I'm not saying bothered by though, as much as I'm saying, do you think people understand the show less
I don't know.
and make more
I
basis claims about
stopped
the
reading anything about it after it's the first few weeks of it where I was like, maybe I'll watch this. And I was like, no, no, I'm not gonna watch this. I don't care enough. And and then when it started about halfway through, people started to really start disliking the show, and I
hmm.
heard a lot of complaints.
Because I remember I was at episode 16 when we talked. I was two-thirds of the way through the show,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's not getting any worse. Actually, I think it got better up to the point where it got confusing.
Mm.
I think the show reached its peak at that point. And then, like I said, it fell apart to some extent, but the payoff was good.
Hmm.
I do agree with criticism to some extent, with the criticism to some extent.
Yeah.
But
I know barely anything about the criticism. I just know that people
yeah.
say like it fell apart. That is the most of my understanding. And
Well, no,
often I don't even
I read
mind
some
when
as well.
stories kind of sort of go in a completely different direction at a certain point and collapse it narratively. As long as the ride itself is entertaining, I still derive some amount of value from it.
Yeah, no.
So I'm certain I would get enjoyment from the show. And the show looks
Mhm.
good from what I've seen as well.
Oh, it's really, it looks really good.
Mm.
Dude, the way they do the mech battles, it's beautiful. Like it's just so well done. They're like smooth and like impressive. The mechs aren't like, big like Pacific Rim, like I will punch you, but it will take me 6 seconds to do it. Um,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is like this very speedy, smooth action. Like it's just action, like straight up. Um,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
epic, pretty epic stuff.
That's cool.
Also, like the breakthroughs that the characters have, just nutty. Character development and stuff is great. So,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
well, that was all I had to say about Darling and Franks.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it
If I
only took me
ever
25
watch
minutes.
it, and with your high recommendation, it has certainly moved up on my plan to watch list, but we should have a longer discussion about it. A much
Yes.
more informed discussion about it as well, coming from me.
Or Vilnius, if you can manage to get your hands on the manga, that would probably do just as well.
Perhaps. I mean,
If you
I
do you
don't know
think
if
you
they.
glean the same amount of emotion from a manga as you do an anime?
Well, the thing is, Jay, anime adaptations and manga adaptations of anime are not exactly one to one, and
Yeah.
even if they do follow story beats one to one, they leave very different impressions just by being such different mediums. So, if we were to have an information, or I mean, a
I think you'd have
discussion,
to watch the anime.
yes, I would
I
have to
I
be.
think that's a very valuable way to go about it then.
Hmm.
But I
Yes.
mean, you're right. I think from the limited amount of just so I guess an example like Pokemon, right? I've read a Pokemon manga, a few of them,
Yeah, you were
right?
talking
And
about
compared to
reading
the
Pokemon
show,
Adventures, which is very different from the show, but it's also not based on the show. So
no, maybe I don't know. I
that
I
is
thought I
the
was.
Pokemon manga. Do you remember any of the titles or any of the story beats?
Oh, absolutely not. It's been
Okay.
it's been probably 9, 10 years since then.
Pokemon Adventures is the Pokemon manga that's been running for like the last 15 years. So I'd assume it was that one you
Oh,
read.
there's only one manga. Well,
No,
yeah, it
there's
would have been that one
certainly
then.
there's many, but that's the longest running and most successful one. Do you
Well,
remember
I'm guessing
like
that would have been it.
regions that you read about?
Oh, no way, dude.
Okay.
It's
Well,
been
Adventures has I guess that's a pointless question because Adventures has covered every region.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But
Yeah, yeah.
but if you look at that, regardless of whether it's one to one of the show, it's impossible to glean the same amount of emotion from a comic. I guess
No, that is not true at all.
no, at least for me, I don't feel that much reading books. That's
I
just
would say I generally the experience of reading a comic I think I said this
well,
earlier in the episode, is a much more engaging action than watching an
Oh, you
animation
think so?
completely.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it is more engaging. That's definitely true. Just like I think, reading a book is just generally more engaging than watching something, which is just reiterating the same thing we just said, just with the same example, basically. God. But yeah, no, I gotta say, I agree with you on that one.
But, uh, are you not contradicting yourself?
I don't know. Am I
I'm pretty
contradicting
certain you're
myself?
contradicting yourself. If the
Vilnius,
comic is more
Vilnius,
engaging, would it not then also be a more
Vilnius. Can I
emotionally
ask you something?
impactful? I don't understand.
No, and Vilnius, since you don't understand, I'm gonna go ahead and say you surrender.
No, I'm.
And
Wait, what?
so
There was no
I get to
argument to
take
be
your
had.
I get to take your car now. Cause I
No, no,
won
no,
the
no, no,
fight.
no, 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 no. I'm going to delete this
Mostly.
entire podcast.
Well, you can't delete my part, so it will live in infamous me forever.
The infamous me.
Yeah. Oh, Vilnius, we've been recording for a long time. Do you want to do a song of the week?
Oh, yeah, we can do a song of the week.
You ready for my song of the week, Vilnius? My song of the week. I'm about 85% sure I haven't done this one before, but there's 15% that. No, it's been weeks. My song is called, very appropriately, Anime Love by Soy.
That is a not the title of the song that I was expecting.
What were you expecting me to say?
Anything but that.
By the way, love is spelled Luv. This is the most adorable song I've ever heard in my life. Maybe. Yeah. Um, and very appropriately, I did not know who the character on the cover art was, but apparently it is 02. I did not know that until about 2 days ago. I was very confused as to who it was.
Hmm.
And it is. Is there a thing called bedroom rap? You know what bedroom pop is, Vilnius?
No.
Okay, let's just bedroom rap. Is that a genre of music? Yeah, no, yeah, no. It is basically like bedroom pop is like lo-fi and DIY music.
Okay, and
Right? So
so
it
rap
is
is
basically
lo-fi hip hop.
no, it's not lo-fi hip hop, but it sounds like a more DIY kind of thing. I don't know how to really describe it. It's well, actually technically, you know how Anthony has is a rapper now?
Yes, yes, I follow
Yeah.
Anthony.
Technically that's kind of bedroom rap.
So
It's
it's
like a
just
DIY thing.
DIY rap.
It's it's music without a studio, is what it
Okay.
is. So this is a bedroom rap song, I guess. Bedroom pop sounds better and fits better, but we'll just call it a bedroom rap song. It is very good. It was on TikTok a little bit. I think that's why I first heard about it.
Of
Um,
course.
well, Vilnius, I mean, we are stacking on. I'll count the number of TikTok songs again. It's been several weeks.
Oh no.
Um, it's not going to be that much different, but it's not going to be just a little. So go listen to Anime Love. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cute. And the top comment on the YouTube video, which is not actually the artist video, it's just called "You So Cute, Baby Be My Boo," which is some of the lyrics from the song. The top quote is, "I hope my future husband proposes to me with this song."
No.
Um,
Very
and
sweet.
with that, Vilnius, take it away.
My song is also, I guess, an internet song. Um, it is the song "The Digimonster Mash," done by
Oh
Digital
God.
Dream, and it is a parody of the Monster Mash, except Digimon. Also, it's like
Oh God.
punk rock. Uh,
Okay.
Anyhow, I mean, it's a fine song. I mostly find it just funny because it's Digimon, but also it's Digital Dream, who is a Digimon YouTuber who does vlogs about all the recent happenings of the Digimon industry, and often the I don't know what they're exactly called, but like the Digimon Tamagotchi devices, essentially. Anyways, the song is funny. Digital Dream is also a pretty entertaining YouTuber who is very passionate. And yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
that.
I'm still working on it. Quite a lot, though. I gotta be honest.
Oh, you're still counting.
Wow, it is a lot more than last time, almost.
Okay.
God. Oh God. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Uh. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. No. It keeps going. Oh, 39. Oh, it was like 25 last time. Oh, 39. Jesus. Well, apparently I haven't counted since like September. It doesn't feel like that long. Or maybe even August.
Yeah.
39.
Quite a bunch. Quite a
Jesus
bunch.
Christ. Wow. Vilnius and I will definitely proceed to listen to the song together after this.
Wait, which?
Anime.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant your entire playlist.
Vilnius, my playlist is 9 hours long. So
Mm.
if we listen to
Me,
all of my
Sam, and
songs,
Colin have a shared playlist on Spotify that is 180 hours long.
how many? Oh my God, I Spotify playlist. You just reminded me of the worst songs to have sex to.
No.
Oh man, have you done the challenge? 6 hours and 37 minutes of cumulative sex to bad songs. I don't know. You should, Vilnius. I can't be friends with anybody who hasn't done the challenge. So, well, anyway,
Anyway.
me and my 39 TikTok songs think that it's about time to wrap up the pod.
Certainly is.
Certainly, yes.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Let Me Know
Thank you very
podcast.
much.
If
Thank you very
you
much.
enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe or follow on
And and
Spotify if that's
and
where
you
you
did
are.
enjoy it. You did
Of
enjoy
course,
it
they
to do
enjoyed
that.
it, of course.
Of course, they enjoyed it.
As Jay mentioned earlier, you're probably crying right now, but, you know,
I'm sorry.
remember the good
Of course, if you're
times.
not, remember the good times. All right. And go watch Darling in the Franks because you have
Mm,
expendable time.
yeah. I might do that later tonight, or I might not.
Way to be frank about it.
Anyhow, no, Jay, that was a terrible joke. Jesus.
Okay.
Anyhow,
Anyhow,
goodbye.
see ya. Gotta have a Wawa.
I'm loving
Ba da ba ba bitch.
it.